I have to look at this in a realistic view. I also have something else that is my responsibility. That is a fiduciary and a legal responsibility to the taxpayers of Montgomery County. We have borrowed and have bonds of up to over $100 million of things that we've done on the liquor. If you remove that amount of money, telling the controller, if you remove that amount of money, then my view would be, how do you substitute that without the question you just raised of a substantial tax increase in order to make up the difference or some reductions? I have no problem of a discussion about us moving away from it, but please provide a viable plan that will show us how we're going to get in excess of $30+ million, not 1 year, but every year. And no plan has come forward without that. And so I think there is an irresponsibility on the part of some who would simply say, we could just make that up. No, you just can't make that up. That's not going to happen. And we need to be realistic about that. And if he shows and demonstrates that, then I would like to see that. Keep in mind that to tell you this other point about this, that the county has a budget of $5 billion, therefore $30 million is such a small fraction of that. Well, that's not quite true, because nearly 60% of that budget is already legally obligated under law for education. 8% of the budget goes for debt service. 3% of the budget pays for the health of retirees. 14% of the budget is for public safety. 4% of that budget is for our transit system. So what you have left is less than 15%. So if you exclude $30 million out of that portion, that is a devastating impact. And when you conclude that with what has happened in the Wynn case and all the other challenges, that's a very serious problem. So I would love to see those who are arguing, let's get out of the business, let's make up this difference. Because what you're asking, basically, would be for the taxpayers of Montgomery County to pay higher taxes for roads, for schools, and for other libraries and everything else in order for someone to have a more convenience for liquor in the county. And the problems that we hear from some in the industry, I'm sure that there are some problems, but a lot of it is really overblown, and it's really not as bad as people have described it. But if you're in the business, you find a way to make a couple extra dollars, you'll hype everything up as well. But those problems are nowhere near anything that they've stated. I would love to get out of the business, but I have a fiduciary responsibility for this $30+ million and the bonds and the taxpayers of Montgomery County.